Hello and welcome to Clever News Desk. We're reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. I am Florence Joshua with these and more. Operatives of the Federal Capital Territory Police Command and their military counterparts on Thursday repelled an attack on a branch of First Bank PLC and a police divisional headquarters located in the Abuja area council. The armed robbers, numbering 15, were said to have attacked their targets with dynamite. However, security forces who were mobilized to the scene engaged the criminal in a fierce gun duel, leading to the death of 3 of the armed robbers. The FCT Police Command spokesperson Josephine Ade, in a statement, said some of the robbers fled the scene with injuries while 3 were arrested. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, has announced the suspension of special promotions in the police with immediate effect, noting that it is jeopardizing the job of officers. The IGP, who was angry at the extent to which some officers go lobbying for special promotions, noted that henceforth, anyone recommended for special promotions from the powers above will be disciplined. Egbetokun also said the issue of special promotion will henceforth be handled by the police management. He also banned undue soliciting for posting, warning that anyone found guilty of this act would be dealt with by the law of the force. Egbetokun made the declarations at the decoration ceremony of 15 senior police officers who were recently promoted from their former ranks to the new ranks. Those newly decorated included 1 Deputy Inspector General of Police, 11 Assistant Inspector Generals of Police and 15 Commissioners of Police. For Africa to maximize and harness its abundant human and natural resources for socio-economic growth and development, policy makers and educators and advocates for education must work together to promote the spirit of Pan-Africanism through education, experience and interactions. Speaking at a press conference this Friday in Abuja, the Vice Chairman, CEO of the African School of Diplomacy and International Relations, Dr. Tunji Asolu, stressed on the need to educate an African society fit to compete with current realities and demands of the 21st century. He added that the school would be embarking on an educational tour to Kigali, Rwanda.
Our educational tour in Kigali symbolizes our commitment to advancing this fertile agenda and shaping a brighter future for the African youth who are the forerunner of change and innovation in the 21st century. Our tour has 3 primary objectives. Firstly, to facilitate knowledge exchange by engaging participants in dynamic discussions and interactive dialogue on diplomatic practices and international relations within Africa. Secondly, to offer a deeper understanding of post-conflict reconciliation through Rwanda's remarkable journey, serving as a model for positive transformation. And lastly, to foster collaboration and networking among participants, creating a platform for impactful change and innovation in the field of diplomacy and international relations.
He said the tour, which is scheduled to take place from 28th to the 31st of July 2024, under the theme, Promoting the Spirit of Pan-Africanism Through Education, Experience and Interactions, would feature an African peer-to-peer education conference, tour and award of honorary doctorate degree in Kigali, Rwanda, 2024.
The reason why we are going to Rwanda is, of course, to learn from the experiences of Rwanda, in ways we can, also see how we can, pick up 1 or 2 things from the lesson, and to also see how we can also talk to our people, our brothers and sisters in other countries. The tour actually goes beyond Nigeria, but it's also a good news that this thing is, I'm in Nigeria, I'm a citizen of Nigeria, so it's an advantage whenever that you have a Nigerian citizen spreading the affairs of any international organizations like this. So charity always begins at home. So that is why I said that we are also extending this to even some university.
The African School of Diplomacy and International Relations says it's confident that the tour would spur the much-needed reform for Nigeria's educational sector in line with its vision to raise a generation of new leaders with a Pan-African spirit dedicated to achieving the Africa we want. This year's World Blood Donor Day was a celebration of giving and gratitude as donors were honored for their life-saving contributions. The National Blood Service Commission brought together stakeholders, sponsors and the public to raise awareness and support for their crucial work. Our reporter, Mercy Adewumi, was on the scene to capture the spirit of appreciation and generosity at this special event.
The 2024 World Blood Donor Day was a momentous occasion marked by the National Blood Service Commission under the theme 20 Years of Celebrating Giving. Thank you, blood donors. The day kicked off with a symbolic roadwalk. Following the roadwalk, a ministerial press briefing was held where Professor Saleh Yuguda, the Director General of the National Blood Service Commission, delivered a heartfelt message highlighting the critical role of blood donors in saving lives. He also extended his thanks to stakeholders and the federal government for the unwavering support.
Blood service that gives patients access to safe blood and blood products in sufficient quantity is a key component of an effective healthcare system. The global theme of World Blood Donor Day changes every year in recognition of the selfless individuals who donate their blood for people that are unknown to them. Let me use this opportunity to call on all healthcare establishments in this country, both private and public, to come forward and register with us in order to ensure the availability of safe blood.
During the briefing, stakeholders and sponsors reiterated their commitment to supporting the Commission's vital mission, and the press had the chance to delve deeper into the Commission's work through questions and discussions.
WHO supported the National Blood Service Commission on strengthening the quality of services through the African Society of Blood Transfusion stepwise accreditation program, result of which is intended to ensure quality blood and blood products from the Commission.
Our partnership with this blood service is quite apt. Reason because we are all working towards the same goal. What is the goal? To save life. We cannot do it all alone as Federal Road Safety Corps. To be here this morning and to say that Center for Integrated Health Program has been one of the Commission's key stakeholders in provision of quality and safe blood and blood product to Nigerians.
As a way of actualizing the renewed hope agenda of Mr. President, the Federal Ministry of Health under my leadership is committed to ensuring the availability of safe blood and blood products in Nigeria. Part of our efforts include the appointment of a renowned professor of hematology, Professor Saleh Yuguda, as the first Director General of the Nigerian Blood Service Commission. To our dedicated blood donors, I express my heartfelt gratitude. Your contributions have made a significant impact on our healthcare system, saving countless lives.
The recipients expressed their gratitude for being recognized and celebrated as the event concluded. Appreciation awards were presented to the highest donors who shared their stories of regular blood donation and how it had positively impacted their health.
As I donate blood, younger blood cells are regenerated. I'm healthy. My skin is glowing. I don't have so much wrinkles because I'm donating.
I'm privileged to be a 26 times donor today, and I see blood donation as something I do for humanity, and I believe doing that I'm saving life.
I'm a 59-time donor. Life has given so much to me, and I'm giving back to humanity. First of all, I understand it's my civic responsibility, and then I discover that each time I give blood, I save a life.
Doing what you preach. Actually, I work in National Blood Service Commission, so we encourage people to donate blood. I feel I cannot be telling people when I'm not doing it.
Overall, The 2024 World Blood Donor Day celebration was a poignant reminder of the incredible impact of blood donors and the continuous need for safe blood donations to support those in need. Mercy Adeomi, reporting for Clearview News Desk.
The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has sounded the alarm on dangers of using calcium carbide to ripen fruit and adding harmful substances to palm oil, meat and grains. The Commission, in partnership with the Ministry of Health, organized a one-day sensitization program for stakeholders in the nation's capital. Clearview's correspondent brings us details. Speaking at the event, the acting executive vice chairman of FCCPC, Dr. Adamu Abdullahi, warned consumers, retailers, farmers and others in the production value chain to desist from these harmful food practices. He urged them to be vigilant to prevent the consumption of artificial ripened produce. The warning came after the Commission received credible information that chemicals are being used as force and artificial ripening agent for fruits, vegetables and other food items. Specifically, the use of calcium carbide to hasten the ripening of oranges and mangoes have raised concerns.
But we are going deep down into the grassroots, into the markets, into the farms to find out what sharp practices are going on and to ensure that we get a healthier society in line with Mr. President's renewed hope agenda. We have to renew the hope of our people to be alive first, healthy first, before we now start talking of the economy. We have to ensure that the goods in the markets are according to the standard that they should be, that they are neither adulterated nor are they fake. That's the essence of what we are doing.
It's a serious concern. Food adulteration is a serious concern everywhere in the world. It's not only Nigeria. Everywhere in the world, people try as much as possible to adulterate food items because of economic gains, also for different reasons. And you can see when people take pesticide, it causes neurological problems. Okay, sometimes you look at what's wrong with this child. This child is not growing properly. It's not because the mother did not give birth to that child very well. We need to be able to improve our technology. Testing of our food products on the spot is also important. If you can test them on the spot to know whether they have adulterants or not, it's important.
Fruits naturally are supposed to ripe on their own. They have what is called lingers, and once they are matured, the level of lingers in them increases. But once they are harvested prematurely, it means that the level of lingers in them is low. Hence, they will try to use calcium carbide, which will produce acetylene, to mimic the lingers that is naturally in fruits, thereby forcing it to ripe. And this comes with a lot of health implications. First, it will make the fruit to be soft on the surface, but if you look inside of it, it's still hard. And the calcium carbide has traces of arsenic and phosphorus, which has been considered carcinogenic.
Discovered that most of these supermarkets, the price on the counter is different from the prices that are being spent on the radar. When you look at the price, and by the time you take it to the counter, what they will be showing you the difference is fraud.
Calcium carbide contains arsenic and phosphorus, which have been scientifically proven to have harmful carcinogenic properties that can lead to serious adverse effects and possible fatalities. The FCCPC has vowed to take action against perpetrators of these hazardous food practices, urging stakeholders to report any instances of artificial ripening or adulteration to the Commission. The agency is committed to ensuring the safety and well-being of Nigerian consumers. Florence Joshua reporting for Clearview News Desk. Against the backdrop of June 16th, Father's Day celebration, Some fathers have lamented that they shoulder a lot of responsibilities, and sometimes to avoid being referred to as weaklings, they have to bottle up emotions and pressures while still playing their father's role. Some fathers who made this known at the special Bible study session organized by the Foursquare Gospel Church at Sokoro, Abuja to mark this year's Father's Day said, "Sometimes fathers need to be pampered and cared for." Clever News, Imofon Okon was there and now tells us more.
Father's Day, celebrated with enthusiasm across the world, is a day dedicated to honoring and appreciating the paternal figures in everyone's life. Father's Day celebration is a time for children, young and old, to express their love, gratitude and respect for their fathers and father figures, acknowledging the vital role they play in shaping families and society. At the special Bible study session organized by the Foursquare Gospel Church at Sokoro, Abuja to mark this year's Father's Day, some fathers lamented that sometimes to avoid being referred to as weaklings, they have to bottle up emotions and pressure while still playing their father's roles.
Today is about the men. We are celebrating our week. On Sunday we are going to be having a Father's Day, and to kickstart the week we have a panel discussion highlighting challenges facing fathers and also prefer solution to those challenges.
You have to balance between your work and your family, and you have a lot of pressure from work. You also have to be a nice man when you get home, and a father also needs to be pampered. Most times a father, they sit alone. When you see a father sitting alone in the house, most times what they go through their mind, you can't even think about it. All they are looking for, who can come and take some of this off my shoulders? So a father also needs a bit of care.
The secret tears of a man: you have 4 children, it's school time, and you don't have any money. You can't tell your wife, and the children must not know that you don't have money. So you have to go extra mile. If you have to borrow, you have to borrow. I don't have issues, I don't quarrel, I don't talk. But when I see it, I know how to come before the time. You get me? So a father has to be very happy. We don't need to think that we are carrying load. It's not load. God knows whatever that will come before time. It's not a load. I don't think it's a burden. It's not a burden.
They also listed out some responsibilities of a true father in a home.
Can do to be able to bring up their family in a way of the Lord. First, you heard what the pastor said just now. He is going to be a provider and the priest of the house, and at the same time, he will be the breadwinner. We have so many kinds of fathers. You get me? We have many kinds of fathers, because there are some fathers who can talk more than a woman, and there are some fathers who see before the woman. You don't need to talk, you need to walk out the way it's supposed to be.
Families who are going through challenges and all that, it's important that we just look up to God, because God is the author and finisher of everything. So fathers should look up to God and keep holding on.
Some children and mothers prayed and made wishes for fathers.
They are always there for us. They are the pillars on which we all lean on. The woman, the children. And my wish for them is that the God of heaven will grant them the power to actually be the pillar, to be the leader, like the pastor said, to be the priest, the provider, and everything for the family.
For all the fathers in the church, I pray that God will strengthen them. It's not an easy task to be a father, but they will not be put to shame. The Lord will arise on their behalf.
Actually, I just pray that God continue giving him strength to endure those little challenges that he's facing. At least I thank God we are seeing 3 square meals, we are living fine. That's it.
Oh Lord, please protect us. We fight for our families. We fight for our families. We fight for our church. Amen.
Amen.
The origin of Father's Day can be traced back to the early 20th century. The first known Father's Day celebration was held on June 19, 1910 in Spokane, Washington. It was organized by Sonora Smart, who was inspired to honor her father, William Jackson Smart, a Civil War veteran
and a single parent who raised 6 children. Imefon Okon reporting for Clever News.
The Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has promised to hire foreign technical advisor for Eagles. The Super Eagles player performed abysmally below the expectations of Nigerians. In a meeting, NFF apologized to Nigerians for the dismal output and very poor returns of the senior men national team in 4 out of 10 matches in the ongoing qualification series for the 2026 FIFA World Cup finals, and pledged to work assiduously and put necessary measures in place to ensure a better prepared squad ahead of the AFCON 2025 qualifiers in September this year and the resumption of the World Cup qualifiers in March 2025. The committee resolved to beef up the NFL technical department with more qualitative hands. A prominent female Me Too activist in China has been handed a 5-year jail sentence for subversion against the state. Sophia Huang was convicted and sentenced this Friday, nearly 10 months after she went on trial. Labor activist Wang Zhengbing, who stood trial with Ms. Huang, was sentenced to 3 years and 6 months in prison. Ms. Huang, 36 years old, has been one of the most prominent voices in China's Me Too space, reporting groundbreaking stories about sexual abuse victims. She has also spoken about misogyny and sexism she faced in Chinese newsrooms. Chinese authorities have not made it clear how the two stood accused of subversion. The trial was a closed-door hearing, but their supporters say they were detained because they hosted regular meetings and forums for young people to discuss social issues. Ms. Wang had been on her way to take up a UK government-sponsored master's scholarship at the University of Sussex when she was detained at the airport in the city of Guangzhou in 2021. And that's the news. You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram and YouTube at Clearview News Dex, or via handle on X, formerly known as Twitter at Clearview Online. Many thanks for watching. I'm Florence Joshua. Bye for now.